Hi everyone, and welcome to today's MNA orientation webinar. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy 2019. I hope that you all had some restful time around the holidays and are feeling energized and excited about this year. If you're feeling a little anxiety about 2019, that's okay. Take a deep breath and we will all get through it together. But today's webinar is really designed to help you get a better understanding of your M&A benefits, what's available to you, and how to access that. I will be going through a lot of information today, so please know that we are recording this webinar, and I'll show you where to find it on the website. And you can always refer back to it, or you can reach out for someone from M&A to help you out. I hope that you get a high-level view of what's available. I don't expect that you'll remember every single step to accessing things, but know that we're here to help if you do need some assistance. So M&A was incorporated in 1990. We serve more than 1,000 member organizations statewide. We do that through capacity building, civic engagement, and public policy, all three areas which you will learn more about today during our webinar. My name is Sarah Pinder. I'm the Engagement Director. That's my picture right there in the middle. I'm also joined by my colleague Mario Gonzalez. He is helping out with the webinar today. You'll hear from him a little bit later, as well as handling any questions that you might have. So feel free to use the chat or question box function to ask any questions. We'll try to answer what we can during the webinar and then leave a little time at the end for questions as well. Pictured on the left there is my colleague Bill Gesseman. He's our Strategic Growth Officer and is also an integral member of our stakeholder engagement team. So as I said, one of the ways that Michigan Nonprofit Association serves the nonprofit sector is through public policy and advocacy work. We do that by focusing on issues such as tax policy, budget and spending, and public and private collaborations. My colleague Joan Gustafson is our External Affairs Officer, and if you have any questions specific to policies or changes that may affect the nonprofit sector, Joan is certainly willing and happy to talk to nonprofits about anything that you might be dealing with. She is busy right now, as is the legislature is starting into session tomorrow, and working to have M&A, be familiar with and meet all of the new representatives at the state level and various legislatures there. So now we're going to go ahead and go over to the M&A website. This is where we will spend most of our time today, because this is where you get access to your member benefits. One quick note about your M&A membership. Your membership does cover your entire organization. That includes staff members, board members, and even key volunteers. You can decide how you want to manage that within your organization. Some organizations prefer to have one login name and share that amongst various colleagues. Others prefer to set up individual logins, which you can do from the back end of your profile. So if you've just joined, thank you. We so appreciate your membership. And if you may be on the call but still considering membership, that's okay too. You'll get a good sense from today's webinar on what you are able to access as an M&A member. But if you just joined, you had to identify a primary and secondary contact. Those two contacts within your organization would have been provided with an email with their username, and then directed to go to this forgot password link in order to finish out that process of getting their credentials set up. So as you can see, when I came to the website, I went in the upper right-hand corner and I did member login. And now I'm on the member login screen. So you put your username and password there and click login. Before I do that, pay attention to what's right below that, the forgot username, forgot password link. You can use those. All you need to know is the email address associated with the account, and then you also need to have access to that email address. And if you get stuck past them, there's a few very short web videos listed underneath that can help you troubleshoot getting logged in. And if you need additional assistance, you can always reach out directly to MNA. So once you log in, you can see here that you're taken to a member dashboard. This has a lot of easy links to things that are going to be important to you while utilizing your membership. Below here is our membership benefits chart, and we'll be going through a lot of those things today, but that's where you can see all of the benefits available to you. Over here on the left, I want to point out a couple different areas. One is your membership details page. This is a page that you can manage your organization's details, including address, mission statement, etc. So if you move, this is a great place to log in and update your information. Also below that, you'll see this is where your contacts for your organization are listed, and you can add or delete them, as well as assign various privileges. And below that will show you information about your renewal or your recent payments. Ours looks a little bit different here, but if you were up for renewal, it would have a button right over here in the status column that would say Pay Now. So you can manage that all through your membership details. Also right below that is MNA member discount codes. Anytime MNA has a program or service or an event that has a member discounted rate, the discount codes are captured here. So you will have to log in to get your discount code to then finish the purchase of whatever it is you're purchasing and use the discount code to get the member discount. And finally, edit login profile. This is where you can change your username and password. I'd encourage you to change it to something that you'll remember easier, and then it won't be a barrier to you actually logging onto the site and using the benefits. So I'm going to start over here on the right side of our website and just work our way back over to the main tab, which is membership, and so show you a few of the highlights. Under who we are, we do have a staff page. All of our staff's pictures, bios, contact information is listed there. I'd encourage you, if you're going to reach out to MNA, to pick someone directly from staff and reach out directly to them. If they're not the best person to help you, they will certainly get your message along to someone else that can help and support you. Also under that who we are is the Get Connected tab. This is a great place to visit to make sure that you're connecting with MNA in all the different ways possible. We are on social media. We have Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. So if you prefer to get your information that way, certainly follow us on one of the social media sites. Beneath that is our newsletter sign up. The My Nonprofit News is every other Friday morning that comes out and has all of general updates about things that MNA has going on, various events, trends in the sector, etc. We also have a public policy action alert. This newsletter comes out only when we're asking nonprofits to take action in the public policy space, but it's a great list to be on as well. And then you can sign up here for the Michigan Job Center email, which Mario will talk about a little bit later in the webinar. If you do sign up for any newsletter, keep in mind if you unsubscribe, you will unsubscribe from everything you've signed up for. So we just ask you to be cautious with that when you're unsubscribing. We want you to maintain what it is, the information that you're wanting to get. So MNA also serves the sector through MNA Tech Services, and I'm going to turn it over to Mario right now to tell you a little bit more about that.
Thanks, Sarah. Now, one of the ways MNA serves the nonprofit sector is through Roi Technology Services, as she just mentioned. The team at MNA Tech is very knowledgeable and personable, and if you happen to be the accidental techie at your office and you maybe don't want to continue to be that sole resource, or there's a need for something tech-related that comes up, please consider reaching out to MNA Tech. They can assist with things like technology planning, managing servers, and various other technology-related items. The team is extremely helpful. It can even be reached via a direct hotline for those unexpected problems that just do happen to spring up around the office. More details can be found under that Technology Services tab on our webpage. Now back to Sarah to review our civic engagement.
Thanks, Mario. So as I mentioned, MNA does a lot of work in the civic and community engagement realm. One of our largest initiatives right now, and as a huge focus for 2019, is actually the Census 2020. It's very important from both a representation standpoint as well as a financial standpoint that Michigan has a full and complete count in the Census 2020. This is sometimes challenging as there are lots of hard-to-count populations such as elderly people, people of color, and children. The reason Michigan Nonprofit Association is involved is that traditionally these hard-to-count populations are well served by nonprofits. So we're looking at nonprofits to be a good conduit to the census work and making sure in 2020 that Michigan gets a full and accurate count. There is a lot of information on census right now, and there will be more coming out. I would encourage you to check out the Michigan Census website, which is available here via this link, as well as sign up for the e-newsletter if you're interested in continuing to learn more about the Census 2020 initiative. MNA also sponsors an AmeriCorps VISTA program. We have VISTAs, which are Volunteers in Service to America, placed at about 30 organizations throughout the state. We are starting into our host site application period right now, meaning we're looking for nonprofits who might be interested in hosting a VISTA, who would be working in initiatives for employment, pathways to employment, or college access and success. So if you're interested at all about AmeriCorps, go ahead and contact my colleague Maggie, and she'd be happy to tell you more about what is entailed in being a host site. I'm going to go over one more tab to research and publications and tell you about a few things that MNA has available to you. First is our Michigan Nonprofit Management Manual. This is my favorite resource to talk about because it is incredibly helpful and practical for the nonprofit leader. It is a manual. It's about 600 pages long. It means you don't go home tonight and read it start to finish unless you're very different than I am. But it's a good reference guide for really common nonprofit management questions, and it has sections on everything from budgets, fund development, human resources, evaluation, etc. It is available for a discounted price of $75. Non-members would pay $95. Definitely a must-have resource in my opinion. If you call me with a question, it's the very first thing I pull off my shelf and look for the answer to your question in there. Right below that is our Michigan Nonprofit Compensation and Benefit Report. We do compile this report every 2 years. We have a new one coming out actually sometime this month in 2019. What this is we ask nonprofits to tell us via a survey what type of employees they hire, how they compensate them, maybe even what vacation days or health care packages that they receive. And what that allows us to do is turn around and then produce this report that includes right around 70 positions every year, and ultimately can be a really great guide for nonprofit leaders or nonprofit board members who are looking to create competitive compensation and benefit packages. So the final report is laid out by geography, type of organization, and budget size. So you can even narrow it down so far as to say, if you're an arts and culture organization in the Southeast Michigan area and you're looking to hire a development director, you can find out what other organizations that fit those parameters are also paying their development director. Again, allowing you to put that into a really competitive package. It's a very, very useful tool. And for members right now, the current one that we have is available for $100. Underneath that, you can see we have an introduction to working in Michigan's nonprofit sector. That's a brief resource, but if you're transitioning to the nonprofit sector, it's a great place to start and to learn a little bit more about what we're all about. We also have this nonprofit leadership guide, which is leadership programs in the Southeast Michigan area and can help provide you some basic information on what those programs entail. So as you can see, lots of papers and things that you can download there. I'm scrolling down on the bottom to show you guys a couple other things. One is the MNA Links magazine. This is a quarterly publication. The next one will be coming out at the end of March. And you can also access the archive here if you're interested in looking at past issues. Below that is the Michigan Advocacy Primer. This is a great tool. It's basically like Advocacy 101 for nonprofits. If you're interested in what your organization can do to advocate, definitely check out this resource. It's here for a free download, and it's really easy to understand and puts things in a clear picture of what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. So I'm scrolling back up to the top. We also have a diversity, inclusion, and equity assessment. I'm not going to speak much to that today, but please know that it's a resource for your organization to gauge how they're doing in the areas of diversity, inclusion, and equity. And you can learn more about it there or reach out to me, and I'd be happy to tell you more. We also have a study on the economic benefits of Michigan's nonprofit sector. Some very cool statistics come out of that research, so you can dive into that tab at a different time as well. As I mentioned, public policy and advocacy is a great way that MNA serves the nonprofit sector. As I mentioned, through our civic engagement work, we're also doing some work with the census, but we also have our other public policy initiatives, and if you click on the links in this tab, you will learn more about them. A couple things I want to point out to you specifically. The Michigan Nonprofit Caucus. Now, this is one of the items that is going through a great amount of transition right now because of the change over of the legislators at the state level. So you may see some pictures that are out of date here, but please know that we're working to get new leaders on this caucus. So the caucus is bipartisan and bicameral, meaning that they're both Democrats and Republicans from both the House and the Senate, and they help us advocate for issues that affect the nonprofit sector. Scrolling back up, also I want to point out, if you're in the Southeast Michigan area, as a member, you are invited to participate in the Southeast Michigan Public Policy Council. They work on advocacy and policy issues that specifically affect that region of the state. So more information there. All right, we're going to go over to the membership tab, and I'm going to turn it over to Mario again to talk a little bit about MNA's Nonprofit Job Center.
Thanks again, Sarah. Under the membership tab, you can find our Nonprofit Job Center. This is one of our frequently used resources. There are a few different ways that you can interact with the Job Center. One way is by browsing the current job positions posted that are available in the Michigan nonprofit sector under the current job positions. You can sort these options by category and even narrow it down to the desired search parameters of what you're seeking. It's also great for a nonprofit leader who's looking to hire someone in the state of Michigan. Just click on the submission form under the Job Center tab to complete the job posting. The rates are $75 for a single 30-day posting for all MNA members and $165 for non-members with a logo usage. We strongly encourage you to post any openings with our Job Center if you have any. Another way you can get engaged with the Job Center is by getting signed up for the weekly email blast that goes out every Friday morning with the most current postings submitted to MNA, as mentioned right here. It's a great resource to stay up to date on positions available if you are a job seeker. You can sign up for the e-newsletter button under the Get Connected page right here. Our email news blast reaches about 6,000 subscribers each week, and our Job Center gets about 18,000 page views a month, which is a great way to market your opportunities to our online audiences.
Thanks, Mario. And now I'm going to go back to that membership tab and scroll down here to the nonprofit resources and tell you about the benefits that are available to you. So at the top, you can see we always have a featured benefit. Right now is the compensation and benefits report. I am not going to spend any more time talking about that, so I'm going to scroll right down. First off is access to Grantstation. Grantstation is an online grants database that will help you find new grant opportunities. Now, you can access Grantstation from Google or something like that, but if you do that, you won't get free access like you will with your Michigan Nonprofit Association membership. So that's a really important part, to be logged into the site, scroll through, you saw me click the links for Grantstation, and then you're taken to the Grantstation page. You can tell you're logged in correctly at the top when it says Welcome Michigan Nonprofit Association. Grantstation has a wealth of information. I encourage you to spend a little bit of time on their website because they have some really great educational materials, including sample proposals, information about writing a grant, how to go about it, etc. But the main thing I want to show you is in their grants database. So you click on Find Grant Makers. You have a choice under here of all the different listings that they have. I'm going to go to U.S. Charitable Giving. That seems to be the most comprehensive database that they have. And as you can see, there's some instructions on the left side and search parameters on the right side. So I'm going to go ahead and do a sample search here. I'll warn you that it does update in real time, which is great. It also looks a little weird when it's on doing that while I'm still working on it. So I chose grant funders with an area of focus in Michigan. And now I'm going to choose an area of interest. So let's say disaster relief. I'm going to scroll down. You can see all of the different ways that I can narrow down the search. I'm not going to choose all of them today, but I am going to choose a type of support and say that maybe I want general operating support. So then you can see over here, well, it's pretty specific with this one. Usually I get a lot more than one result, but I clearly narrowed it down a little bit. So you can see over here on the left are your search results. If you click on the name of the grant maker, you're going to get a lot more information about that grant maker. So you can see here 3M Gives. They do this in the following categories: community, education, and environment. On the right side, they tell you which states they are in, total annual giving, that their application procedures, et cetera, et cetera. Some of these records that I've seen actually include like the program officer contact information and everything. So it's really comprehensive. It's a great tool to have. I'd absolutely encourage you to check out Grantstation and get familiar with how to utilize that part of your benefits. The Foundation Directory Online is similar. It's an online database of grant opportunities, and you would receive 15% off as a member of MNA, so you can click on that if you're interested. Underneath that, Finance Unlocked for Nonprofits, or FUN, is a video series that is shared by another state association out in Washington State. They did a great job. They're 6 pretty short online web videos done with a CPA and a CPA and an improv actor, so they're actually pretty entertaining to watch as well. I think it's a great tool if you're onboarding staff or maybe new board members and you want them to just have the basic knowledge of nonprofit finance. If you're looking for a solution for credit card processing, you can connect with Card Connect, who offers credit card processing discounts through MNA. Scrolling down there, MNA often has discounted or free events. If you click here, you'll be taken to the events calendar. You can see our event for today is listed on there. You can also get to this events calendar right from the front page of MNA's website. If you see an event it would have a little orange icon that looks like a person next to it. That means that event has a member rate, so you would receive a discount compared to non-members. We also do share our recorded webinars. As I mentioned today, we are recording this one and we will put it up here. So as you can see, there's lots to download and learn from if you're interested in looking at any recorded webinars. I already mentioned the Diversity, Inclusion, and Equity Assessment. That's a great tool that MNA has, and I encourage you to look into it a little further if you're interested in doing that work in your organization. Underneath that, we do offer online learning discounts through a company called MindEdge. This is a great way to utilize and share your benefits with other members in your organization. A great opportunity to share professional development opportunities where you don't, it's all delivered online, so you don't have to pay for people's hotel and travel and all that. But you can see they have everything from fundraising to how to read a nonprofit financial statement, lots of opportunities with MindEdge. We also have a document library here, and these are free downloadable documents. You can see we have various categories, some in communications, a whole series in volunteer management and engagement, things on financial management, governance, human resources, etc. So check out the document library. We also work with All Campus on offering higher education discounts, and more information is available there. And this Principles for Good Governance and Ethical Practice is a resource that's shared with us from a national partner, Independent Sector. You can download that for free if you're learning more about those principles that all nonprofits should really live by. Underneath that, you can see that MNA partners with some of the largest educational institutions in the state. University of Michigan Dearborn offers a nonprofit tuition discount for nonprofit employees who are members of Michigan Nonprofit Association. Again, it's a great discount and opportunity that can be shared to other staff at your organization. Oakland University offers a 25% discount on their nonprofit management certificate. Michigan State offers a scholarship for their MBA, executive MBA program, and some other professional development opportunities throughout the year. So check those out. Right below that, Davenport University offers a 20% tuition discount to MNA members. As well as we've partnered with New Horizons, which offers computer learning opportunities for staff and offers a 10 to 20% discount to MNA members. Below that, under Managing HR, we do have a new opportunity with Nonstop Wellness. This is a way for organizations to provide self-funded employee health care. It's a pretty unique program and has some definite benefits for nonprofit employees as well as the nonprofit. It does only apply to organizations with 50 or more employees on benefits. But if that falls into the category of your organization, I would definitely check them out because it's a very cool program and provides some great opportunity for nonprofits. We've already talked about the Job Center and the Compensation and Benefits Report, so I'm going to continue to scroll down. Constellation HR is a performance and compensation management system. So if you manage a lot of employees and need some help of how to track goals, as well as annual assessments and things like that, this is a really great system for that. MNA members would receive a 10% discount and a 20% discount on setup fees. There's some links here at the bottom that actually go to recorded webinars. They provide great information as well as a brief overview of their system. So if you're interested in learning more about Constellation HR, definitely take a look at those recorded webinars. It'll give you a good sense of what that program is. I see that our time is right at 3:30. I do have a few more minutes of content. I hope that you're able to stick with us, but I understand if you're not, and I do respect your time. And just know that you can find a recording of this webinar on the recorded webinar archive if you want to refer back for the last few minutes at a later time. Verified Volunteers is a discounted background check service. MNA members receive a 20% off opportunity with Verified Volunteers. The unique thing about this system is they allow their background checks to be shared with various community organizations. So if you have one volunteer who volunteers with Habitat for Humanity, but also the local Girl Scouts, if both organizations accept Verified Volunteers, they would be able to share that background check, saving organizations time and money in that realm. So check out Verified Volunteers. Definitely a cool, interesting take on that service. Directors and officers liability insurance, if you're interested in that, you can connect with our local partner, Lyman and Sheets. And we also talked earlier about MNA Tech, so I'm not going to go over that again. But please know that you're eligible for 1 year's worth of benefits with the Nonprofit Technology Network, or NTEN. They offer an annual conference each year, some other webinars and professional development opportunities, as well as tech-specific nonprofit job postings. So a great resource to know about. Now I'm going to turn it back over to Mario, who's going to tell us about the remaining member benefits.
Thanks, Sarah. So as we mentioned before, MNA offers 3 types of memberships: nonprofit, business, and career development. Because of this, we have a variety of businesses, both small and large, that are part of our grander statewide network. One of your featured MNA benefits is complete access to our business marketplace directory, which is a great resource for nonprofits seeking specific services from those who are experts in their sector. Excuse me. This online database can connect your organization with independent contractors or firms that are looking to serve your needs. But please note, we still strongly suggest that you perform your own due diligence before hiring or contracting any of the businesses found through this search. Much like the business marketplace, the nonprofit member directory provides the contact information, pull it up real quick, provides the contact information of all of our nonprofit organizations from around the state that are in our network. Through this resource, you can make additional connections and potentially collaborate on joint efforts or projects in your region. And as you can see here from your screen, it also lets you change the filter to search. If you're a nonprofit leader seeking to reach some of our business members with specific needs, the request for proposal feature can be a helpful resource, can be a very helpful resource. Just complete the short form and your submission will be distributed to a variety of businesses that are members who have identified services in the areas of your inquiry. Another great feature that connects you with opportunities around the state is the list of trusted partners and resources. This document should, in most browsers, open into a new tab or save onto your desktop as a document, but it provides contact information for some of our most trusted partners within the nonprofit sector for both state and national organizations. Some of this quick reference information include the National Council of Nonprofits and the Michigan Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs, otherwise known as LARA. This is a helpful guide for navigating some of the institutions in our nonprofit sector. And finally, certainly not last or least, we have advertising and sponsorship opportunities with MNA. We have a considerable statewide following as well as a growing online presence, so advertising with us is a great platform to broadcast your upcoming events, any programming or general opportunities that you may have. You can find more details about our specific packages by reviewing the options found on the Advertising and Sponsorship Opportunities page on our website. Another great opportunity that MNA connects you with as a nonprofit member is our Capacity Building Center Network, which is a collection of 11 organizations or centers around Michigan that provide local capacity building services to other nonprofits. Through this collaboration, our sector our nonprofit sector in Michigan continues to grow healthier and stronger. So we encourage you to check these out if you have any needs that you need help connecting with. So those are some of our wonderful M&A benefits. We thank you so much for being here. We hope your 2019 goes splendidly, and we hope that we've answered any and all questions you may have, but please do not hesitate to reach out to us if you have any more. Thanks so much. Have a good rest of your day.